She used to sleep curled right against my chest every single night. I'd fall asleep to the soft rumble of her purr. Then one morning I woke up cold. She was gone from the bed. And the worst part, it had been weeks. I just hadn't noticed. I'm going to tell you what she was trying to say, and what I learned too late so you don't have to. I thought she climbed onto the bed because she was cold. That's the easy answer, isn't it? Cats get chilly, you're warm, end of story. But here's what I didn't see until she was gone. That cat had a dozen warmer places: the sunbeam on the rug, the humming radiator, the fresh laundry I'd left in the basket. She knew every single one. Yet every night she walked past all of them. She bypassed perfect, empty, safe spots to curl up next to a creature 15 times her size, a creature that could crush her in its sleep. A study in animal cognition found that cats form attachment styles with owners similar to human infants. Sleep is when a cat is completely defenseless. Every instinct screams at them to hide, but instead they lay their body next to yours. She wasn't choosing a heater, she was choosing to be vulnerable with me. That wasn't comfort, that was a daily act of absolute trust, and I didn't see it. Now, here's where it gets deeper, because it wasn't just trust, it was identity. Did you ever notice your cat pressing their face into you just before sleep? That little headbutt against your chin, the slow rub of their cheek? I always thought it was just pre-sleep affection, but she was doing something far more ancient. Cats have scent glands on their cheeks, forehead, and the base of their tail. When they mark you, they're leaving a chemical signature. But here's the part that shattered me. When she slept pressed against me night after night, she wasn't just marking her territory, she was blending her scent with mine. In wild colonies, cats share a communal scent. It's how they know who is family. It's how they say, "This one is safe," without a single sound. When I came home from work, she'd sniff me urgently, head to toe. I thought it was cute. She was checking how much of our shared scent I'd lost. And then, that bedtime cuddle, it was her restoring what went missing, reclaiming me. Every single night, she was weaving me into her identity, telling the world and herself, this human belongs to me, and I belong to them. And I treated it like a bedtime routine. I didn't feel the ceremony. But she didn't just claim me, she guarded me, and I never thanked her for it. Have you ever wondered why your cat chooses a specific spot, right by your head facing the door, or curled at your feet with their back to the darkness? I thought it was just a preference. It was a duty. Even the most pampered house cat carries the wiring of a predator, and predators understand threats. In the wild, colony members take turns standing watch while others rest. When she positioned herself beside me, part of her truly believed she was on guard. If she slept facing the bedroom door, she was watching the entry point. If she slept near my head, she was protecting the most vulnerable part of me, my face, my breath. She was small, she knew it, but something in her ancient code said, "This human is mine to protect." I never once thought, "She's my guardian." I just slept. She showed up for duty every single night, and I never acknowledged her post. But the most haunting message wasn't in where she slept, it was how she slept. A cat's sleeping position is a message whispered only to those who listen. I didn't listen. So let me tell you what she was saying when I was too blind to hear. The tight curl. She'd tuck her paws, hide her belly, become a perfect little sphere. That's the most guarded position a cat can take. It means she felt safe enough to be near me, but not quite safe enough to let go entirely. It was trust with a whisper of caution. And on the nights she slept like that, I should have asked, "What's scaring you, little one?" I never did. The full sprawl, legs stretched, belly exposed, maybe upside down. This is the ultimate surrender. A cat exposing its stomach is saying, I believe completely that nothing bad will happen here. The nights she sprawled, she was giving me the purest love she had, and I just thought she was comfortable. The turned back. Some owners get offended when the cat turns away. I did. But in cat language, turning your back means you trust someone so deeply you don't need to watch them. It's a compliment. She was saying, I know you won't hurt me. The full contact press, wedged into impossible spaces, pressed so hard against me there was no daylight between us. That wasn't clingy, that was her saying, I want zero distance. You are my whole world. Every shape she made in the dark was a sentence, and I missed the entire story. But the most miraculous thing she did, I didn't even notice it was happening inside my own body. My cat was supposed to be active at dawn and dusk. That's what her species was built for. So why did she wake when I woke and sleep when I slept? That wasn't a coincidence. Cats are crepuscular. Their wild ancestors hunted in the dim hours. By nature, her schedule should never have matched mine. But bonded cats do something incredible. They override their own biology. Researchers have found that cats living closely with humans gradually shift their sleep-wake cycles to mirror their owners. She stayed awake longer during the day, she slept more deeply at night, not because it was natural, but because that was when I was available. Her entire internal clock, carved by thousands of years of evolution, was rewritten just so she could exist in my world. She would greet me at the door because she'd learned my rhythm. She'd appear minutes before my alarm because she'd synced to me, out of preference, not habit. I thought she was just a pet who adapted. She wasn't adapting. She was choosing me over her own instincts every single day, and I didn't see the sacrifice. But the deepest cut was how she felt what I felt before I even knew I felt it. There were nights I came home broken, didn't say a word, didn't make a sound, and without fail, she'd be glued to my side, purring into my chest. I thought she was just being sweet. She was responding to a distress signal I didn't know I was broadcasting. Science is proving what cat owners have felt for centuries. Cats detect subtle changes in our cortisol levels, our body language, our breathing. When I was stressed, my scent shifted, my movements tightened, my heart rate jumped. She registered all of it. Sleeping beside me gave her a front row seat to my emotional state. Night after night, she gathered data. She learned my baseline, the rhythm of my breathing, the way I sighed, the tiny shifts in my heartbeat. And when something broke that pattern, she noticed before I could even name the pain. Those nights, she pressed harder, purred louder. She was trying to regulate me. She was saying, I feel your fracture, and I'm here. I just stroked her and told her she was a good kitty, never understanding she was my silent, vigilant nurse. And then one night, she stopped, and I was finally forced to listen. This is where the story stops being gentle. A cat who has slept beside you for months or years suddenly stops. The bed grows cold. The weight at your feet disappears. And if you're like I was, you tell yourself they're just being moody. Don't. Don't you dare. Cats are creatures of habit. When they break a pattern this sacred, they are screaming in the only language they have left. Sometimes it's physical, pain you can't see. Arthritis that makes the jump impossible, an illness they're hiding because survival instinct tells them to suffer in solitude. If your older cat suddenly sleeps alone, a vet visit isn't optional. It's an emergency wrapped in silence. Sometimes it's environmental, a new pet, a shifted routine, a scent that disturbed their territory, something small to you, massive to them. And sometimes it's emotional. Cats remember. If something startled them in that room, if there was a conflict, they might pull away to protect themselves from a danger you can't see. She chose to sleep with me because she trusted me completely. When that changed, she wasn't being moody, she was communicating the only way she had left. Listen to that silence. Watch for it, because that nightly ritual, the warm weight, the soft purr in the dark, it was never small to them. It was their life wrapped around yours. And if I had understood the language sooner, maybe she wouldn't have left the bed that night. Don't let your story end with a cold sheet. Now, we've talked about the silent messages your cat sends when they sleep beside you, but there's one critical part of their behavior most owners completely misinterpret, and it's having an even bigger impact on their health than we ever realized. So check out this video right here where we show you how to spot the hidden sign your cat is sick long before they stop eating, so you never have to wake up to a cold, empty bed again.